So what's going on, guys? So today I want to make a summary on the valuable lessons on one of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon. I want to summarize and recommend this book to anyone who is just beginning to have that curiosity in improving their financial circumstances. This book tells an amazing story, and also the simplicity and the lessons of this book apply to real life wealth building. So the book takes place in ancient Babylon, right? Long ago. Yet what's amazing is these exact principles for wealth building actually have applied throughout the centuries. So let's go through each principle this book emphasizes, all right? So lesson number one, start thy purse to fattening. Translation, start working. Every man or woman has an equal opportunity to earn a living and work a job. Find a specific skill that you're good at, which pays well enough to start earning money. Yes, once you do build wealth, there are many other ways for you to expand your incomes and earn more money. But if you desire to build yourself a fortune, is it not wise to start utilizing the source of wealth which you've already established? So as long as you always take out less eggs from your basket than the amount that you put in, say, for example, every pay period. Another way to put it by Arcad, the man of fortune in this book, teaches his students, for every 10 coins he puts in, he spends no more than 9. So lesson number two, control thy expenditures. Translation, it's simple, control your expenses. In the book, he talks to his students, how many here all have a lean purse? And everybody raises their hand. So basically meaning everybody has an empty savings account or empty bank account. All of his students put their hands up. Yet he emphasizes the fact, don't you guys all earn different incomes? Some earn more, some earn less, some earn a lot, yet they all have nothing retained. This is where he stresses the point of don't confuse your necessary expenses with your desires. So craving and desiring a lot more than you necessarily need actually leaves you broke. Even the wealthiest people in the world have a limit to how much their wealth can afford them. So no matter what, there's always something with a bigger price tag. You can't build wealth if you don't give your money a chance to accumulate and grow. There's a limit to everyone's money. There's items with $1,000 price tag and there's items with $100 million price tags. Study carefully your actual expenses and what you may or may not need right now. So lesson number three, make that gold multiply. Translation, multiply your money. Make your money work for you. Once you notice your money start to accumulate, you're actually ready for the next step. It is ready to start making more money for you. Now that you learn how to control your expenses and put aside a portion of what you earn, you'll notice your savings starting to get a bit larger. Now you're ready to put your money to labor for you. He speaks on investing in what you know. Make sure you trust your money with someone that knows exactly what they're talking about. I myself, when I started on this journey, made very unprofitable investments and lost everything. Why? Because I was uneducated. I didn't know where to actually place my money properly. I was looking for a fast buck. And in truth, what seems too good to be true, most of the time it really is. In reality, compounding your money takes discipline, consistency, education, and seems slow in the short term, but is normally always a long-term gain that benefits you greatly, especially in markets. Wealth is a result of the transferring of money between the impatient to the patient. And that is a Warren Buffett quote, which is, by the way, is the biggest investor in the world. So wealth isn't just how many coins you carry in a purse, all right? Arcad says it is the income that increases and continues to refill your purse over and over as your amount of coins saved increases. You can continue to invest in new sources to provide additional flow of capital continuously and increasing how much you earn. Lesson number four, guard thy treasures from loss. Translation, protect your savings from loss. That is a huge one. I lost everything that I accumulated at the start by placing high risky investments without education. I was using loan to leverage money against my money to try and make large profits on a daily basis in the stock market, therefore putting my principal at risk, at high risk, to try and make ridiculous returns fast. This is not the way. Invest in diversification and invest to hold on for the long term. If you do invest in a concentrated manner in individual businesses to achieve above average returns, you must have the proper education and do the proper research on the financial books of the business. Nothing that promises fast money is worth the risk to your life's work. You worked extremely hard to save these coins or dollars. You want the most guaranteed return over the long term that you can get and the highest return possible. You need a fine median. Perfect example, investing in index funds on a monthly basis to hold on to for 20 to 30 years. Over the long term, you'll likely see a nice consistent rate of growth of 10% or more annually, holding through the down years and the up years, continuously adding on. In a fund such as this, you aren't looking for the best needle in the haystack. The theory is you're simply purchasing the entire haystack. You're diversified. Lesson number 5, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Turning your living situation into a profitable investment. This is an example of essentially preaching home ownership. If you acquire a mortgage and slowly pay that down, by the time of maturity, which is normally 25 years in Canada, your property most likely will have went up significantly. That, or you live in a multi-unit dwelling as well, and the rent from the other units in your building pay your mortgage and bills, essentially allowing you to live for free. Now, of course, at the time of writing this, our housing market is at all-time highs and inflation is spiking, so purchasing can definitely be more beneficial in different market cycles. But this is what the lesson is essentially trying to preach. Make your dwelling a profitable investment rather than burning money in rent. However, if interest rates continue to rise and the markets stay high, which I do think it'll hit a downturn cycle, housing is simply a much less liquid market and goes through cycles much slower than something like the stock market. If interest rates continue to rise, it will make it more challenging for people to be approved for a mortgage or hold on to a mortgage, which in turn theoretically should cause the housing market to decrease in prices. But we are short in housing supply as it is in Canada, so it's definitely hard to predict when this will actually happen. All I know is when there's a buying frenzy of overpriced buying in any kind of market, it is normally not a good time to actually follow the crowd. Just like the stock market, never overpay for an asset. You should always look to get a discounted price. Patience is required and will be rewarded. Lesson number 6, ensure a future income. This speaks for itself, especially with the education available online in this day and age. We should always be investing in ourselves with our current earnings while we are young, because there will come a day when you grow old and wish to retire. If you hadn't set yourself up with some passive investment income or a large chunk of retirement savings and investments, you will find yourself out of time. This is common for the previous generations because the lack of financial literacy education that is actually available. It is definitely still common right now, but there is a shift occurring. It is much easier to access the information that only the people born into wealth knew back in the day. It is no longer suitable to just rely on a single source of income or to just rely on a pension or the government pension. You should want to secure your own nest egg of wealth that will continuously drip feed you an income later in life. Lesson number 7, increase thy ability to earn. What this means is if you have a small income, the cure for this is I wouldn't simply put in a sense, as long as you put the work in, all right? So basically you want to increase your value, your worth, and educate yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. If you increase how valuable you are, especially because of your own knowledge, you then increase your ability to earn more money. So because now you become valuable to more people, knowledge is free these days, all right? So there's paid knowledge and investing in yourself, and investing in yourself is definitely a big step towards progress. So, but to get started on your journey of self-development and learning, it costs nothing. You have the internet at your disposal, or you could purchase books or find ebook versions for free online of some of the most popular books that the wealthy have studied religiously themselves. There's more lessons in this book, like the 5 laws of gold and such, but I suggest you pick up a copy of this book yourself and start indulging in life-changing information. So thank you for listening and watching, and you can grab a copy of The Richest Man in Babylon by clicking the link in the video description or comments. Grab a copy for just $5 and start your journey and start changing your life and your finances. Have a good day, everybody, and I hope this helps.